Hello Virgo, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, my friends. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. Just want to say thank you very much for all the new Virgos that have arrived over the last couple of weeks. It's been so exciting to see more Virgo energy. I'm appreciative of it. Thank you for your thumbs up and the ways that you're loving on this channel. It is reaching other Virgos. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, so we're going to use a couple of oracle decks and then we're going to hit it with tarot. Going to find out what's going on for you in the week ahead. If you're catching this real time, the week ahead is the last few days of July and then the first 3 days of August. But you can, this reading may resonate with you, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next year. If you find it then, it may resonate then. Let's find out what's going on for Virgo, please. We have patience and planning. We have moving on. And we have a spiritual union. Interesting. Somebody here is ready to have some sort of union with somebody who is their person. I feel like somebody is moving on from this strategic energy to this love energy. Maybe you've been planning this all along. Maybe you have. Yes, you are the one who sits back and watches after all. You're quite strategic, right? You're the one who's planning all the steps. Of course, it always depends on your moon and your rising, but generally, if you have Virgo in the sun or the rising, you are someone who definitely is into patience and planning. You will be as patient as you need to be to get what you need, but you will do all of the planning, going over all of the details. We do have remember. What do we have for moving on, please? We have ego. Ooh, I really love it. Somebody's having an ego death. They're moving on from their ego. Tell me about the spiritual union, please. We've got inspire. Somebody here has inspired you to move away from your ego. And I feel like this patience and planning part of it, I feel like you're planning behind the scenes about something that you want to do going forward. And I want to say with the patience and planning, I feel like you get stuck there sometimes. Doing it's like when you're a writer and you edit a book. It's like sometimes you can't get past the first couple of chapters because you keep editing and then editing and re-editing and re-editing. That's what it kind of feels like here. Remember that you can definitely get stuck in the details here. We have immerse closure. So somebody here who has had somebody possibly leave you, it says a request for closure. Immerse yourself in the request for closure. And I feel like possibly that's past energy for some of you. But this moving on from the ego stuff, I really like that. Bottom of this deck, we have rest and rejuvenate. Why? Conflict and defeat. So I feel like in the past, yeah, it does feel to me like there is some sort of relationship that didn't go well. And you're leaving that. Even though you patiently planned, you need to remember what went on back there. So forgive, but never forget. Be wise. Forgive, but never forget. And so it doesn't happen to you. It's really important. But I feel like whatever you learned back there taught you that you cannot lead with the ego. We do have a new deck alert, by the way. If you didn't see the Aries reading in the sneak peek, got a new deck that I'm using today. It's called This Might Hurt Tarot Deck. And it's adorable. I love it. Depictions are beautiful. We're going to throw some tarot and then we will clarify this tarot. Let's find out what else we've got for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Okay, what's this? We've got the Ten of Cups, my friends. So you've been planning for happiness, planning to move on toward happiness here. Tell me about moving on. Oh boy, are you ever. We've got the Chariot here. You're headed to the victory here. You've got the Sun at your back. The Sun is at your back. This is Cancer energy. So for some of you, you might be moving on heading east. Because it looks like a sunset to me. Sunset's in the west, right? You might be heading east because your back is to the sun. We have the King of Cups. Ooh, under the spiritual union. I feel like the King of Cups is somebody who is inspiring you, Virgo. Whether the King of Cups is feminine or masculine, whether you are feminine or masculine. We have the Eight of Swords. feels to me like this is something that you have been thinking about obsessively. Is this Eight of Swords and Ten of Cups? It's like I need, it feels like it's not a need, but it feels like an obsessive manifestation possibly, but you've been patient and you've been planning because you don't want things to go the way they did last time in whatever relationship you were in that didn't work for you. We've got the Chariot and the Sun. What's going on? Virgo, this is wonderful. Look at this. The sun is here. The sun is here. You've had some sort of a breakthrough as it pertains to your ego. I think that you've realized that maybe you were leading with ego, and really, honestly, believe me, it takes a long time for us to recognize and realize what is ego and what is not. I feel like you have had some sort of a realization or a breakthrough that your life is far happier and you can get way more done. You can have way more victories without your ego in the way. It will stop you. It'll be like, oh, I'm not taking that offer. That's beneath me. Like it feels like it was stopping you from moving forward here. One last card. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So there might be a union, a spiritual union between you and somebody who has water in the chart. It could be a King of Cups. It could be Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. I feel like this Two of Swords, yeah, it says here, the Moon and the Fool. What you don't see is that there is something that is coming up for you here. It feels like you've been blocking yourself from making some sort of a decision or moving forward because you didn't know how it would feel. It feels like somebody here was a little worried. You couldn't see who you were dealing with. It feels like things when you're in the dark are kind of scary. I want to say that the Fool is here because it's telling me that even though it's dark, you're finding a way out of your ego here. The Two of Swords tells me you had yourself trapped in the dark and you've decided now you're no longer going to do that. All right. Tell me more about Virgo, please. Let's clarify here what's going on. I feel like you're what you have been thinking about, what you want the most, what you've been manifesting, what's been on your mind, because wherever your thoughts go, that's where your energy flows. And I feel like you've been patient, but also planning. What would I do if I had the Ten of Cups? What is it exactly that I would do? I feel like you need to remember the past because I feel like it was tough back there. And that's the reason why you've become patient. You've become a patient planner. We've got the Six of Cups, we've got the Six of Swords, and we have the King of Swords. So it does feel like in the past, which is this energy, yesterday or before that, it feels like here that there is some sort of nostalgia, I want to say, nostalgic memories that you have with somebody from the past. But I want to say that you moved away from that. You decided it wasn't for you. It might have taken some patience and planning. Maybe you hung around longer than you had to. But the Six of Swords tells me that finally, even though I feel that maybe somebody here has cut themselves away a long time ago, it could even be months or years ago, 6 months ago, maybe. I feel like somebody 6 or 10 months ago that you still were energetically connected to the situation. But I feel with the King of Swords here, you're finally moving forward. The King of Swords is pointing in the past, so I feel like you finally just swung the sword and cut yourself free, and that's why the Six of Swords is here. You definitely are on your way to your happiness. What is it that you want to remember from the past, though? Because it's good to make sure that you remember what went on back there so you don't repeat it, right? We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. I feel like what you realized, Virgo, is that money isn't everything. That you walked away from all 9 Pentacles. I feel like you realized money isn't everything. The Three of Wands is here. You can see this person has decided to leave the crossroads and take their own path. Somebody here decided, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm going off to find myself a new tribe, a new community. I feel like you moved away from this relationship and probably moved out of state, out of the city, out of the province, out of the country. It feels like that you had to become the King of Swords. You had to learn that lesson in order to cut yourself free here. But I feel like because you did, because you were brave enough, and you have been patient with the next cycle of your life, it almost feels like after the King of Swords came and you learned that lesson, it's like you were in the gray area. It's like something had ended, but something had not yet begun. And so I feel like this may have been what was going on in the gray area here, that you were trying to figure out, you were having realizations, trying to find a way to move forward, move away from your ego, because I feel like the ego built you to the 9 pentacles, but I feel like you walked away from it and left it there. You realized that those pentacles, or the money that you had accumulated, didn't accumulate to happiness. And yes, it would have bought you things. Yes, it makes things financially and economically easier, but does it buy happiness? There's no way you can buy happiness. And you listen to people who are rich and who have learned their lesson, and you will know that it just isn't something that is sustainable in terms of happiness. But I feel like in the midweek here, you're having some sort of a breakthrough, a realization that it's almost like you get giddy, like inside energy, really excited energy here, that it's time to get in your chariot and go. And I feel like what you're departing from here is your ego. And I love it, because I feel like if the ego gets big enough, it can block the sun. I'm just saying, we do have the death card. There definitely has been an ego death here. Yeah. And we do have the star. Look at that. That's really great energy here. So the death card, right? It's transformation. And the thing is it's transformation in the sun. You've got the transformation that once this thing ended, I can really have anything that I want. You now see everything completely clearly, right? You're happy. You're happy being alone by yourself. And I feel like this is the place where you heal. This is the place where you do the work on the self. You close this door. The world card, you realize, is not just an ending of a chapter. It's actually an achievement. It's a milestone. So I feel like you'd been stuck in a relationship because you're loyal, right? You're loyal, and you will stay longer than you should because of your loyalty. And I feel like you finally cut somebody away and closed the door for good. It feels like it may have been a revolving door for a while between you and somebody else, but I feel like your ego was in charge of it. I feel like it was your ego that was in charge. You kept going back because you're like, no, I'm not going to let them win. No, I'm not going to let them win. I feel like you kept going back there, but every time you did, you hurt yourself. The stars here, you are headed to your wish fulfillment, my friend, which I think is this. You're headed towards your wish fulfillment here. You are going to get the victory. And I feel like when the sun comes out and you see everything that you are, I feel like that's why you decide to get everything in balance. The feminine, masculine energies, the life thing. I feel like you realize that you were living from ego, and ego will spoil the whole damn thing. I feel like you realized it was time to close a door on something from the past and just let it die. I don't think you're going back there. The King of Swords never would. For sure not. You might have air in the chart. You don't have to. I feel like you're off to do your own thing and find a new group of people. You're moving on from this ego. So we do have the spiritual union. You are inspired, I feel, by the King of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles, feminine or masculine. The King of Cups, feminine or masculine. I feel like you are about to have a spiritual union with someone who truly does bring out the best of you. Somebody who really does inspire you. Because the King of Wands does nothing without inspiration. The King of Wands will not do a damn thing without inspiration. I feel like this person inspires fire within you. And I feel like this person inspires you to go get it. Go get what you want. Like they're like, you know what, don't worry about me. I'm taking care. I'm fine. The King of Cups is fine without you. I'm going to say that this energy of the King of Wands is this person who I feel is somebody who could have water in the chart. This is someone who inspires you to be you. Go out with the boys. Go camping for a weekend. Go out with the girls. You need your time away. I feel like this person inspires you to be yourself, to be solid and grounded, to go over details, to make sure that you have everything that you need. And then this person is good. They're good without you all the time. 10 of Wands. And we have the Page of Swords. So it's a lesson that's learned. I love it. You've become the student. So when you have ego, when you're living in your ego, Virgo, you cannot take a lesson. You can't take feedback. You can't learn anything. And there's nothing going on in terms of clarity or new ideas or anything like that because they always must be yours. That's what the ego will tell you, right? I feel like somebody here has decided to go with the flow. The King of Cups is here, but it just takes the right person in the spiritual union to inspire you. And I feel like you have found or will find somebody in the week ahead. This may be somebody you know, it doesn't have to be, but I feel like there is somebody who you will have a spiritual union with. And really the spiritual union means that two souls meet. No matter what they look like, whether you're expecting them or not, whether you know them or not, two souls come together and inspire each other to make beautiful music. I love it. To make beautiful music together here. So I feel like you've become the student. You've dropped your ego, become the student. And in becoming the student, you're able to go over the reasons why you carried around the 10 of Wands for too long, right? I feel like you are inspired to drop those wands, and I feel like you're inspired by this spiritual union. Tell me more about the spiritual union, please. We have the Ace of Pentacles. You are investing in someone here. This person could be someone who is musical. You could be musical. One of you could be a musician, but I feel like the Ace of Pentacles is telling me with the Six of Wands that there is some sort of really exciting victory that's about to change your life. And I feel like this is a spiritual union that will do that for you. This person's going to give you a lot of attention. The Ace of Cups is here. Look, I can't even plan it that way. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. Look, Virgo, if you're waiting, for some of you, not all of you, it is a general reading. Virgo, if you're waiting, there is an Ace of Cups here that you're going to have victory in. I feel like you're about to cross some sort of imaginary finish line. I think that you thought that that's it. It's over. It's over. I'm never going to find my person. I might as well start working on myself, staying in my lane, doing my own thing, closing doors that need to be closed, ending things that need to be ended. And what you didn't realize is in doing all of this is that you opened the door to something really, really beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful. So I feel like you could be meeting somebody who is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, possibly Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. But either way, I think there's a really strong attraction between the two of you. The Queen of Pentacles is your energy, whether you're feminine or masculine. There's a really strong attraction, but there's also a freedom about it. That's what I'm feeling here, that this person allows you to be free, to be who you want to be, because they know if they leave the cage door open that the bird will just leave and come back, because they know it's a place of comfort and not a place where they're trapped. Kind of love that. Look, you've got the 10 of Pentacles here, and yeah, it's for you. It's for you because you've become wise, because you moved on from your ego, and I think that is really freaking great. It's really beautiful. I'm going to go for now, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you, and I'll be back because I'm always back, Virgo. You know it. Bye-bye.